Barnstable This Morning. I'm Sarah Colvin, and joining me live in studio, Town Manager Tom Lynch. Tom, good morning.
Good morning. Did you have a nice weekend?
I did have a nice weekend. It was busy, but good. Got to the beach yesterday. How about you?
Oh, yeah. Went to a fundraiser at the Centerville Library, very successful, and among other things, it was really a nice weekend.
Very nice. Summer is definitely here.
You can feel it in the traffic, and just there's a buzz around, so it's great. Great to see.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about, our finance division really does an amazing job of not only monitoring our finances, but making sure that we are kind of investing well and that our bonds are doing what they're supposed to be doing. So tell me a little bit about what our treasurer has recently done.
Well, I know we talk a lot about budgeting, here on this show, and it's one of the primary responsibilities of the town manager to make sure that we've got a budget that is balanced and structurally balanced, and we're always looking for ways to save money on projects that we might have bonded and whatever. And Deb Blanchette, our treasurer, working naturally with the finance director, Mark Milne, is constantly looking to see whether we should be refunding, or it's much like refinancing existing bonds that might be out there. So from 2008, they looked back on about a little over $5 million worth of bonds and decided that this was the right time to go into the market to refund those bonds, put an RFP out. They got, on June 7th, they got a bid back for a 10-year bond note. Came in at 1.43%, which is, going to end up saving the town on those, the life of those bonds that were put out in 2008 of, $528,000. So there's a large, $588,000, almost $600,000. And then we also looked at, some bond anticipation notes for the projects that are going on at the airport. Refunded those, and that came in at 0.07%. So, lots of ways that the finance department can look back to make sure that if there's a way to save money for future, it allows us to do additional projects, keeps our bond rating, keeps our debt service low, and I applaud them for picking the right time to go into the market to do something like this. So
absolutely.
So that's, just one of the things that, they're constantly looking at. So.
Absolutely. And so here we are in June. We're almost halfway through the month.
Yeah.
And you had set forth some goals back at the beginning of the year, and maybe now is a good time to kind of review those goals and see where we are in terms of accomplishing them.
There are lots of things that have been happening naturally during the last 6 months, but because I knew this time would go quickly, I wanted to identify, those things that I wanted to have progress on a completion. And to that end, we completed it back on May 5th. We were able to complete the capital budget. That was, a great deal of work. This Thursday, we'll complete the operating budget on time per the budget action calendar that we put together. The fiscal year fees, we completed and approved those back at the end of February. And the fiscal year fees will be going into effect on July 1st. I did all the union negotiations, and all of the municipal unions have settled. Both the school department and the municipal side, working together, decided that because many of the issues that were coming up would be difficult to solve, to put together a 3-year contract, we decided and asked the unions if they'd be willing to negotiate a 1-year contract. We have all those union negotiations completed, and they'll go into effect on July 1st as well. We had the community compact projects that we did. The open budget one is done, and actually we've enhanced that over the course of the last couple of months.
Wonderful.
We've got the housing production plan well underway, and that will be completed per the contract, but will probably go into the summer months. But they've had the public hearing on that, and are certainly moving forward on that. We've implemented e-permitting. As of May, everything is up, and that seems to be working just great. We've got we're complying with the court order on the needle exchange. I've been meeting monthly with the aid support group of Cape Cod. We've identified those areas where we find pockets of needles being distributed. We've put into all of the, both of our comfort stations and in a couple of other public places, needle disposal units. That seems to have cut down a great deal on things. And you know, that's a good example of something where, in addition to you know, looking at where the needles are being left, we've also beefed up our DPW inspections at each of the comfort stations. We've got the community resource officers going into effect very shortly through the police department. And I was talking to someone the other day, and they said, well, the chief had told them that since the comfort stations had opened, they had only had one call from the fire department to go over to the town hall parking lot comfort station there. And so that's an indication of giving increased attention at a particular problem and seeing a decrease in some of the negative activity that we had there.
Sure.
You know, the housing development over in Marston's Mills are very actively working on that RFP, and I know that the assistant town manager, who will move into the town manager slot, Mr. Ells, is going to, you know, carry that on. The dog park, we've selected a designer. That's underway, so that will keep moving. The shooting range was postponed until July, so that'll fall under the responsibility of the new town manager.
Sure.
We've got you know, some the fire training academy issues that we've been working on all along, and there's an executive session coming up on Thursday to talk about some of the legal issues that are involved there. But at the same time, we've been making progress talking to the county about these issues. And I saw a memo from that Mr. Ells put together that looks like we've got some components of a plan that, you know, may avoid litigation, but that'll be moving on a couple of different fronts. We've got the streetscapes in place for how they're going to move forward, and of course we had the comprehensive recreational field study that's ongoing and is funded, and will keep moving, but that'll be something that'll be completed over the next few months. So each of those issues we either completed or very well underway. So in addition, at the same time, you had Sandy Neck grants are being completed. We had the whole Hyannis water system issue. We permitted a whole variety of projects. So when you see something like the Chick-fil-A being built, or the BJ's Gas up on 132 going into place, or the hotels being completed, there are a lot of steps in that and meetings that were taking place while all of these other issues were being developed too.
Absolutely,
So,
and really to just look around town and see all of the new construction, all of the new businesses, the expansion. I know Trader Joe's just opened their expanded store. It looks fantastic. Cape Space, which I still haven't gotten over to see, but I've heard that's just wonderful.
For folks who out there that are having folks coming down who want to keep their business going while they're but don't want to operate it out of the rental home that they're there, or they need to meet with clients for a little bit, or just anyone out in the workforce. Cape Space is an environment where you can go and utilize all of their facilities, faxes, all the technologies there. You can do interviews, you could meet privately, you could have a large group meet, you could just go and there's kind of a community room where you can type and do your activities, and it's located at 100 Independence Drive here in Hyannis. Wonderful new concept, and I understand they're also thinking to look down into Mashpee already.
Wonderful.
So it seems to be a need that's out there in a different way that certain entrepreneurs are doing business, and Barnstable is going to kind of be in the forefront of providing that opportunity to folks. So I applaud the entrepreneurs who have started that, and hopefully it'll be very successful for them.
Excellent. Well, Tom, thank you so much, as always, for
thank you.
joining us here on Barnstable This Morning, and we'll check in with you again next week. Have a
Thank
great
you,
day.
Sarah.
Thanks much.
Bye.
Tom Lynch, of course, our town manager here in the town of Barnstable. Interim Superintendent of Schools Bill Butler is up next here on BTM.